Let's check this out. Hopefully this works a little bit better. Y'all let me know if I am clear. What's up, everybody? Let me know if I am clear. What's up, Ed? How you doing, love? Y'all let me know if I'm still better. We good? You sure? I wonder when I bring Josh on if that's gonna change anything. We're gonna see. Let's see. Let's try to bring him in. Y'all let me know if I'm blurry after he come on. We can get into this goodness.
That's much better.
For
Much
real?
better. We can see you in all your glory.
Y'all don't even need to see me. All y'all need to do is hear me. You feel what I'm saying? Because all I'm gonna do is just look at y'all and smile.
Hey, you got a lot of value to add. Essence about to go in tonight.
Listen, y'all better go ahead and intercede on my behalf if y'all want me to go in. Y'all go ahead and start praying right now, okay? So tonight, we are talking about what every hairstylist needs to know about marketing. Listen, if you ain't in the market, then how they gonna find you? And if you ain't positioned right, how are they gonna look? Josh, you feel it already? Like, how they gonna find you? Okay.
How they gonna find you?
So thank you all for joining tonight. Unfortunately, last week's live did not save. The second part of it did for those who stay on for the second part, but the first part was so fire. Like we was in a vein, right? But hopefully y'all took notes. Hopefully you was on and you took notes. You know, this is not to be just heard and get hype about, but it's to be walked out. You feel what I'm saying? It's for you to actually grow and to apply these things. So
application.
Tonight, what's up, y'all? Hope Rare Society, y'all in the house. Where's Rare Society at? If y'all are part of my private Facebook group, Rare Society, y'all know who you are. And if not, you can always join Rare Society. And that's where I kind of go into my real preach mode. We ain't gonna do that.
How do you get in the group? Can you let them know how to get in the group?
I don't even know how you get the request. DM me and I'll send you how to get onto the group. I don't know. Because that's if y'all want that speaking in tongues, preach, prophesy type. Nevertheless. We're about to go in. So we have Josh here tonight. Josh, introduce yourself, and then I'll go ahead and kind of introduce myself for those who are not familiar with Essence.
Cool. Josh Miles in H-Town, Houston, Texas. Marketing guru, work with Essence in the academy, and we got a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline for one. But yeah, I get the privilege to link with Essence and walk together to, you know what I'm saying, make the academy what it is. And it's exciting to be doing this. So what up, everybody?
What's up? Josh, we on one accord tonight. You know why?
Why?
Because we got our glasses on.
The glasses. I just started wearing glasses.
Listen, I've been wearing glasses all my life. Normally I wear my contacts, but you know, I got me some new glasses.
Hey, Jonathan Dave, what up? I see y'all.
Yes. So tonight is all about how do you distinguish yourself? How do you make yourself distinct? What I find, hold up, I didn't even tell you who I am, first of all. Just in case you didn't know, my name is Essence. That is my real name. My middle name is China. That is my real name as well. I am the founder of Rare Essence Academy. I started Rare Essence Academy because I had a heart to teach people the proper way, knowing that there's no foundation across the nation. Ooh, I like that. No foundation across the nation. As it pertains to, y'all write it down. As it pertains to natural hair. And what I found was that there was so much miseducation, and there were so many people who wished they knew the proper way. And so, you know, it came to my heart to start teaching. And so that's why I launched Rare Essence Academy. I've been styling hair since I was a teenager in my parents' laundry room. Back in the 90s when I was charging $5, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we went from the laundry room to, okay, God is good, you know, and he can do the same for you too. You know, you got to get a vision for your life and be committed to the process. And so what I help stylists do is to figure out what they want, what they see, and help to manifest those things. And what I mean by manifest, it means to bring it from out of your heart, out of the invisible realm into the visible realm. Much of what we see in our mind's eye really belongs to us. It is something that is actually ours, but we actually have to take the initiative to claim it in the natural realm. And so what does that look like? So y'all gonna get me. I ain't even trying to turn on right now, but the reality is we want to talk about marketing. And so Josh, I don't know if you just want to talk about, start with some points or what have you, but the other part is I was a salon owner for 13 years for Rare Essence Studio. And I recently sold it to my business partner, and she's doing an amazing job in Tempe, Arizona. And so I help salon
Shout out
owners
to Adelaide.
help them establish their salons as well as, help them grow. So if you are a stylist, a salon owner, wanting to be an educator, that is what Essence is here to help you, mentor you, to help you walk through that process. And so you may see that in your mind's eye right now, and you're just like, okay, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get there. Well,
Yep.
you might need to reach out to me. So we have our courses, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll probably just be kind of dropping some stuff. So what my heart is to do is to drop like my experience and my wisdom, and hopefully you'll be able to take from that and apply it to your story for where you're at right now in your journey, right? Because we understand that life is all about elevation, right? We're not trying to stay here, right? We're at the top of this mountain, but there's another mountain to accomplish, to climb to. And so somebody has already got to that mountain. So what you need to do is connect with them and figure out how they've done that, right? So
right.
Josh, if you got anything to say, then if not,
So I'm
forward.
gonna give it the precursor for what this is. We talking about marketing. Marketing is important because I always say that if you're not marketing, you're probably not making money, right? The name of the game is that was a quotable. Was that a quotable?
I mean, write it down if you feel so.
Yeah, write it down. If you're not marketing, you're probably not making money. You got to put yourself out there. So last week we talked about the importance of marketing on social media, and we had some steps to doing that. And today we're going to talk about distinguishing yourself so that you actually stand out. Because here's the reality. The world has gotten a lot smaller, and there's a lot of people talking. And how do you make yourself stand out among the sea of voices that are saying a lot of the same things? That's the question on the table. And we're going to walk through that tonight because we're going to walk through an acronym, and the acronym is specific for the academy. So I'm going to tell a quick story. We talked about storytelling last week. Sure. When I started working with Essence, she started talking. I was like, why Rare Essence? And she told me what the acronym Rare actually stood for. And then I was like, dang, that's deep. Because there's like meaning behind even the name of what, like, the academy's not just named like Essence Academy, you know what I mean? Because it's her, but there's a formula and a like y'all will hear it in a second, but it's like there's meaning behind this whole thing. And when we talk about marketing, being you is important. There's only one you, right? So you gotta know how do I take all of who God has made me to be and put myself out there, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. So I'm not gonna steal nobody thunder. I'm gonna let you go because this is a big discussion. This is super important too.
Absolutely. So Josh has touched on something right now, being you. And it's the funniest thing because being you is the simplest thing to do, but the hardest thing to do because we're in a world where everything is vying for our attention. And it also is trying to influence us to become something that we're not, right? So what happens is we have the world is dangling all of these things in front of us, and we find ourselves not like leaving the truth of who we are just because we want to be, we want to have this level of success. And so we find ourselves like living outside of our truth, right? So when we talk about the word rare, Josh kind of mentioned that. I could have easily named my salon China's Braiding Shop because I grew up as China. From the time I, was brought up in my household, everybody called me China. I went to school as China. And I didn't start going by my first name until later on in my life. And so, strategically thinking, okay, I could name my salon China's Braid Salon or, something, but to me that was generic, right? And so I was thinking to myself, what do I want my brand to speak to? What type of energy, what type of impression when people hear my business name, what is it going to, like, what type of impression is it going to leave on them? And so, I didn't even think, I ruled out my name, China, but I was like, Essence. What does essence mean? Essence means the essential core or the quality of a thing. In essence, it means that if the essence isn't in it, it's not it. In order for it to be it, essence has to be there. So it's the core essential property of a thing. And so I was like, yeah, the core essential property. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yes. And I want everybody to express their core, their essence about themselves. And so when I thought about the word rare, rare is something that is very valuable because it's not a lot of it, right? So you can go outside and you can find rocks everywhere, but a diamond is precious. A diamond is valuable because it's not found everywhere. And so what I want everybody to understand is that you are rare. And so when we start talking about marketing from the standpoint of distinguishing yourself, you ask yourself, what makes me different than the braider in the next chair, or the salon up the street, or the stylist that's on Instagram? And so a lot of times people get into this almost comparison game, and they lose their essence. They lose their essence.
Right. You lose your essence. No pun intended.
No pun intended. I'm not using that because that's my personal name. I'm not using that because that's my business name. Don't lose your core. And many times people don't know who or what their core is, and they don't understand how valuable they are, how rare they are. And because they don't understand it, they end up selling themselves short, and they become a copy of somebody else. Listen, it doesn't matter how well you braid, okay? It doesn't matter how well you twist. The fact of the matter is people come to you because of you. Hold up, y'all. I'm about to get hot, and I don't even know why I got my heater on. Listen, they're going to come to you because of you. Let me turn my heater on before I fall off this chair real quick. Matter of fact, let me just open the door because it's cold outside.
That's good, though. That's good. People want to get their hair styled by you, not because you're solely a dope stylist, because they want to work with you as an individual.
Come on.
Like that's like if we understand just that, right? If people understand just that reality, how you do business changes. Like how you engage with clients when they're in your chair, how you engage with them online, your responsiveness to a whole bunch of stuff, right? It changes when you understand that, dang, they got a whole bunch of people that know how to braid. The thing that's gonna set me apart is not how I braid, but it's me.
But that's who I am. Come on now. So now we got to get into the first. Josh, don't even get me hype right now.
Look, go in.
So what is going to help you understand that? What is going to help you not become a carbon copy? What is going to help you become the core and express the fullest expression of who you are? It's the first letter, which is revelation. What does revelation mean? Revelation means something that is there, but it's covered. It's unrevealed. So you need a revelation of who you are. You need a revelation of who you are. And so many times people, they find themselves not wanting to express the fullest of who they are because they're concerned about being judged. They're concerned about being critiqued. They're concerned about being rejected. And this is what happens. When you're not your fullest self, you end up being rejected anyway because the people that are supposed to accept you can't find you.
Dang.
You ain't found yourself. You better shut up. You better listen. No. I ain't even trying to be funny right now. You have to find yourself. So what happened to me and what happened to many people who step into a level of greatness is they found themselves. What does it mean to find myself? Y'all have questions? Feel free to write the questions in the question box, and we'll come back to them when we get to this point. They found themselves. And what it means to find themselves is to understand this is who I am. I'm not concerned about being judged. I'm not concerned about being, dang, my tongue off. Sorry.
You gotta chill.
Listen, this Gatorade got me going, y'all. I'm not concerned about being rejected. I'm not concerned about being critiqued. I know who I am, and I'm very confident in that. And so when we talk about revelation, revelation is going to give you that confidence. Revelation gets to a point where it's like, hold up, let me take it to the word real quick. And the reason why I got to take it here is because I don't know any other better example. Yo, when Christ walked this earth,
come on, yo.
Like, he was probably the only person who had a revelation of who he was to the point where he was like unapologetic about who he was. So what you found was he was walking through towns, healing and casting out demons, and you know what I'm saying? And everybody else was just offended. Like, who do you think you are?
Listen.
What he had was a revelation of who he was. And because he had a revelation, he had a certain level of confidence that it was unshakable. He didn't care about who rejected him. To the point of the cross, to the point of death.
Listen.
But we ain't going.
When revelation happens, there's no judgment. Like, That's a whole word, right? When revelation happens, there's no when you reveal who you truly are, judgment is not an issue, because I know who I am. What everybody else thinks doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? When you think about the book of Revelation, when it's all said and done, there's no judgment.
Come on
right?
now.
It's just the reality of you being confident in who you are. You're free to put yourself out there, because what they think doesn't matter. I'm fully comfortable with who I am.
Listen, on, and whoever so say rejects you ain't for you to begin with. Understand, you have a tribe. Hear me when I say this. There is a group of people that are going to be your clients, that are going to be your investors, that are going to be your friends or whatever. And the fact of the matter is, like, they are called to you, but they can only detect you in the spirit realm, in the natural realm, when you find yourself. And anybody else who rejects you, they're not rejecting you. They just need to find their tribe.
It's facts. It's facts.
They need to find their tribe. So what you need is a revelation. Who am I? This is the first question you need to ask yourself. Stylist or any way else. Even if you're not a stylist, you need a revelation of who you are, because what happens is most people find themselves confined in a box. They never manifest their greatness because they have yet to find themselves, or they are so concerned about being rejected, concerned about other people's opinions of them. So this is what Christ did. Let me come back to this real quick. He was like, he started asking the disciples, like, who do men say that I am? Really, it was a rhetorical question. It was, I know people got something to say about who I am, but guess what? It don't even matter. You know what I mean? Because, and so what he did was, okay, that's what they say, but guess what? This is who I am. So he began to make these I am statements. This is where you need to come to. You got to come to a place where I am an amazing stylist. I am a salon owner. I am this. When you're able to make those statements definitively, without fear, unapologetically, without fear, this is when you become dangerous. Listen, when you don't fear rejection, this is when you become dangerous. Hear me when I say this. You got to get revelation. So at this point, y'all, the point number one is pray for revelation. Like, I don't really want to have to take it to church, but reality is, if you don't know who you are, you can never position yourself confidently in the marketplace. You need revelation.
It's facts. It's good.
You need revelation.
It's facts. It kills all hesitation. I can just drop the mic here, because
that was a word for me, okay? Yeah. Come on now, because I want you to understand this, Josh, not to cut you, but I want you to understand this. You're going to need a new revelation as you walk this journey. You don't just get one revelation. Hear me when I say this. Because what happens is you are going to constantly be being called to greater. You're going to be constantly hopefully it's recording. You're going to constantly be challenged to go to the next. And the old revelation that you had about yourself can keep you in a box to your last success. So I created a hairstyle that went all over the world. To this day, it's been almost 10 years. It was just in a movie. I could have stopped there. I could have said, this hairstyle, fly. But no, there's greater. So what happens is you get to a place where you've conquered a mountain, and you have to understand there's more. Don't get stuck at this mountain. It's about elevation. It's about graduation. So going back to that, you need new revelation as time. Like, come on now. I gotta put my drink down. Gotta use my hands. The revelation, it unfolds. So it's not necessarily that you're getting a new revelation. You're just getting more depth of who I am. The fact of the matter is, we are becoming. We already are. We already are. It's no different than a seed that has a forest, a seed that has trees. It just hasn't been planted. It just hasn't been watered. It just hasn't been nurtured. It just hasn't been in the right environment. And many of you can't get a revelation because you in the wrong. You in the wrong. Come on now, give me a word for that.
Listen, everything that the seed needs. When you see the tree, when it was a seed, had everything in it to become a tree in the first place. It needs to be planted in the right environment. You know what I mean? And I love what you're saying. Like, knowing who you are is important, and there's levels to this. Levels to this. Sometimes it's like, yo, I got to get in the right environment to grow. You know what I mean? Like, flourishing flourishing doesn't happen just based on who you are. It happens
Mhm.
based on where you are. Who are you surrounded by? Like, who's the water that's like leaking on me that's gonna help me to flourish? You know what I mean? All of that's important, and that's all part of revelation, right? I gotta know, like, you know something, the circle's a little too big, and I got toxic people in the mix. Like, uh-oh. Go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. You got it.
Listen, I know that from experience. It's like, yo, like, no new friends. You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep adding people, because some people just gonna leech. Some people are gonna just not be what you need in order to help you go to the next level. And
Right.
as a stylist, you got to know, like, man, what's the space that I'm supposed to be in? Is it helping me become who God is calling me to be? Because here's the other side of it. It's not just who do I want to become. It's who is God calling me to be. I need to be who God's calling me to be. Like, what has He called me to? Because if I'm not doing that, then I'm really missing it.
Righteous.
You know what I mean?
Righteous.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
So the goal is to become. The fact of the matter is, we are everything that we need, and who we are and what we're supposed to be is already inside of us. There's nothing that's going to come from outside of you that is going to help you, or how do I say that? That's going to make you become. It's literally inside of you. But your environment is so vital, and some of us don't have the revelation. Some of us have not become because we just simply are in the right circles. I mean, the wrong circles, and those wrong circles are not. They're killing our seed. My question is, who's fertilizing you? What's you like? What are you watching? What are you reading? Like, who are you around? Like, who do you think you are, and who do you think you're not? This is all about revelation. I need a revelation of who I am, because when I get a revelation of who I am, the way I position myself in the marketplace is going to be completely different, and it's going to be so confident and so bold that people have to recognize it. You can't talk loud unless you got a boldness about you. Come on now, we can talk about being loud in the marketplace, right? Josh, you can speak to being loud.
Listen, that's facts. That's facts. Like, it goes back to what we talked about last week, confidence, right? Like, when I know who I am, when I'm rooted, to stick with the tree analogy, when I'm rooted and grounded and I'm in this environment where I flourish, I have no problem being vocal. You know what I mean? And this comes back to, Jesus says the greatest among you is the one who serves, right? When you know who you are, you're free to go and serve. That's why Jesus did it the way He did it. It's like, I'm free to just serve people because I know who I am. Like, if you don't know who you are, you always kind of holding back. Like, I can't really take the next step because I'm not confident in who I am, and I'm not confident in where I'm supposed to be going, so I don't really know if that's the right move. And everybody you're supposed to be serving is left sitting on the sidelines. But when you know who you are, you've experienced this revelation. You understand I'm in the process of growing, transformation. You're always saying, like, yo, who is it that I'm looking to serve? Who is it that needs all the value that not that I just have, but that God has given me to go and distribute to all the people that He's called me to, and to the spaces that He's called me to. And so, like, this is deep. Y'all thought we was talking about marketing, but this is all a part of marketing.
Has
If you don't
everything to do
understand
with
who you
marketing.
are and have that revelation, then you're not gonna really hit on much.
Listen, the very thing that you're hiding, the very thing that you're covering up, the very thing that you feel like is not going to be acceptable is the thing that really is going to be your magnet. You think that what distinguishes you is something negative. It's probably something you may even be insecure about. So I'm gonna give you a case in point. When I talk, y'all, I naturally preach, so to speak. Like, it is a part of who I am. Like, I can't share my story without sharing my faith. I can't. It's who I am. And there was a time where I used to hold that back because I was like, I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to be a motivational speaker or trying to be so I'm thinking about what other people think about me, not realizing the very thing that I was trying to hide is the very thing that is keeping me from really attracting my audience.
Absolutely.
Because there's a group of people that literally want it the way that you do it, who you are. But if you're not being who you are and you don't have a revelation, no, this is who God is like, this is who I made you to be. This is what is your essence. It's your essence. So if you're hiding your essence right now, you need to ask yourself, why am I hiding parts of me? Like there came a time when we were traveling and teaching and doing classes, and Adelaide and I would pray before everybody would come into the classroom. And there was one time where we was like, so behind on time, and we hadn't prayed. And I'm like, Ella, we didn't pray. And I was like, I didn't want to pray in front of people. Like, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to. And I was like, but I can't not do it. So I was like, oh, well, y'all, we about to pray. And ever since then, I just continue to pray. And guess what? It is a part of who I am. And I was hiding that, so to speak. So what are you hiding that actually is going to attract people to you? And not even just attract them, it's going to keep them. It's going to keep them loyal. Why? Because when people connect with you, they connect with a part of themselves.
That's deep. That's deep. A lot of times we think that people won't like us because of our flaws, our mistakes, the whole nine. When in reality, a lot of times those are the things that make people say, like, dang, I had you up here, but now I'm attracted to you because you're more like me than I thought.
Come on now.
And that's why you got to share the journey. But that comes back again, knowing who you are. When I know who I am, I don't have problems sharing my flaws and my mistakes and all the things that I'm still in process in, because I know it's a process. I haven't arrived, and so I can put it out there, and I can be confident in there's no judgment. I know who I am. Yes, I've got mistakes, but guess what? These are the things that are part of my journey. You know what I mean? And so, man, that I love, and this is why when you first told me what rare meant, I was like, yo, that's deep. You know what I mean? It's just, there's a lot there, and we just on the first letter.
Yeah, we ain't even got to the second letter, but get the revelation is just like, it's just flowing. And mind you, Josh hit me before we got on live. He was like, all right, so what are the talking points? And I was like, okay, we just gonna break down rare. But I really had no clue of what I was gonna say. I was just like, I don't know. When I open my mouth, it's just like, whatever come out. I know what I'm trying to convey, and I know what people need to hear, because I know what I needed to hear when I was stuck. When I was in a place where I was just like, and this is being transparent with y'all. Like, in these last few months, I kind of just been like, okay, God, I need more revelation. I need more vision. I'm feeling uninspired. I'm feeling unmotivated. Like, if y'all pay attention, I ain't even really posting a few months because I'm just not there. And one thing is, if it's not flowing, I'm not forcing. And Josh is like, you need to post. But what I'm saying is, we all have those places in our life where we're just like, okay, I need more revelation. I need, you know, okay, what's the next thing? And I understand that it's inside of me. So I don't need the noise. I don't need the distraction. I need to get quiet. Come on now. I want to move on to the next letter, but it just won't let me. In getting revelation, it has to do with getting in a position of stillness. Many times we are so bombarded, so busy, so occupied with the cares of the world. We can't even censor ourselves to figure out who we are. And then we find ourselves being herded and doing what everybody else is doing. And then we find ourselves like not feeling free and feeling like there's something missing, right? So I think that it's going to be vitally important, if I don't give y'all any points in terms of revelation, one, pray for it, but then also to get still. Like, really ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? So many people have no clue of even what they want when it comes to, and I know we're talking about stylists, but I'm talking about as it pertains to your future as a stylist. Like, what do you see for your future? Are you just doing hair day to day with no real focus and no real aim and you gotta get vision.
Yep.
You gotta get vision. So I'm gonna try to move to the next letter, because I just like, it's 7:43.
First letter.
The second letter is A. So R-A-R-E. The first letter was revelation. The second letter is A, which means you have to get an authentic assignment. You already have an assignment, and it's very authentic, but you have to get the revelation of your assignment. And when I put assignment, I say that to say this. We are hairstylists, and we all have something to contribute, something to pour out, something to give to our clients. And we have to understand, why is it that we're doing hair? Like, do you know the purpose of you doing hair? But also understanding how authentic it is. So when we talk about the word rare, we also talk about the word authentic, because what I find with so many stylists, they find themselves in this comparison trap of not really realizing how rare they are. And then they don't become authentic. Like, they see, okay, somebody's doing this marketing strategy, or, they flyers look like this, or we gotta get, you have to get to a place where the creativity is flowing out of you. Like, it's just, but you can't, if you're so bombarded and distracted by what everybody else is doing. You have to affirm yourself and realize, I have an assignment. And that's what this is what I say to even myself. Like, I'm telling y'all this because this is how I live. I know I have something very special here to do. And I don't say that with any type of boastfulness. This is very humbly. And the reason why I say this is because you do too. We
good.
all have an assignment. We are here for a short amount of time. And some of us have been delegated to be hairstylists. Some of us has been delegated to be salon owners, educators, whatever. But you have to understand that there's an assignment that you're not just doing it to make money. You're not doing it to get fame. You're not doing it to get followers. You have something to impart. There's impact that needs to be made by you. So what is my assignment? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And why am I supposed to be doing? What is your why?
It's good.
So when you understand that it's authentic, you won't find yourself being like, oh, well, this stylist got so many followers, or their hairstyles look better than me, or this person got more clients. Like, come off of that. When your energy is expended on doing those things, guess what you're not doing? You ain't getting your own revelation. You're not working on your own assignment.
That's good. Talk about seasons, right? Because I think sometimes we know what the big goal is, and you know what the long-term play is, but a lot of times we want to skip the steps to get there, right? You've gone through certain transitions in your career. I mean, you in your mom's basement. You were in your salon behind the chair doing hair, and now you're in a position of teaching, right? Talk about the transition of knowing like how to navigate the different seasons, about because the assignment changes. Like, you know, they may have the big umbrella assignment, the long-term play, but like the many assignments along the way to help get you there. Speak to that.
I mean, that seems like such a broad question, but I'm holding in. So for those of you who know my story, I've been doing hair from a teenager, like early. I found out I had a passion to do it with playing with my brother's hair. And then I realized, like, oh, I really enjoy it. I have a passion to do it. So I was kind of lightweight trying to do my friend's hair for free. My father was like, if you don't get your whole life, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's your time. You better get you some money. So I started charging $5, $10. And as I realized, like, okay, this is something I could potentially do for, you know, through school or whatever. I always kind of seen it as a side hustle. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't know, maybe because society had conditioned my mind to think that, you know, that was just like something like a hustle. Like, I didn't think like I'm gonna be a hairstylist for life. It wasn't there. But then there came a point in time where I outgrew my parents' laundry room. And for those of you who know my story, I ended up changing the law in Arizona, and I was braiding out of my apartment. And a lot of my clients were asking me, like, so when you gonna open your salon? And I talk about this often because there is a push, there's a thrust, and there's a level of frustration that will come over you when it's time for you to go to the next level. It's almost like, and I talk about this too, like, you got to get to a place where you say, I don't want to crawl no more. I've been here. I've done that. I've conquered this season. And so I was braiding out of my apartment, and my clients kept on saying, when you going to open your salon? And I was just like, I felt comfortable crawling in this space. And so I liken it to a baby. When a baby crawls, this baby's experienced a certain level of freedom, because like all the baby could do was roll around and get picked up and walked around. But now the baby can crawl and can move around. But at some point, crawling becomes bondage, because walking is freedom, right? So I found myself getting to a place where I was just like, I'm getting too tight for this place. Like, my apartment is cool. I had it set up like a salon. I had a salon chair. I mean, it was all set up in this. I had a particular den. And people seeing my next level without me ever saying it. Because when you begin to position yourself for your next level, people can see it.
It's facts. That's facts.
And so I started to get thrusted out of this place. And so one of the things that I did as an act of faith was change my voicemail to say, thank you for calling Rare Essence Studio. Nobody's here to get to the phone right now, but we'll get back to you at our earliest convenience. Now, I felt silly as hell doing that. Why? Because who's we?
Come on, talk about it.
It was literally just me. So I'm talking about we because I'm speaking to my future. And so my transition, to answer your question, Josh, happened because I got to a place where I felt like I was in a crawl space in addict, and I need to walk. I need to soar. I need to come up out of here. But in order to do that, I have to accept the fact that I don't know this next level, and falling is a part of that process. And many people are unwilling to go to the next level because they don't want to fall. So they would rather stay in this crawl space.
Mm.
But I'm in the place where I'd rather fall than crawl. Because crawling is something I know that. Okay? I did that. So we have to get to the place where we say, in order for me to transition, I don't know this level. Mishaps will happen. I may lose money. I may lose clients. I may lose. And I'm talking about some of y'all need to raise your prices right now, but you're too scared to raise your prices because you're thinking about losing clients. Guess what? Let them go.
Let them go.
Okay, come on now, Pharaoh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So we have to get to the place where we get very comfortable with, I don't know this next level. It's unfamiliar. It's dark. Come on now. And when I say dark, this is what fear comes from, the unknown, the uncertain. And so many times people don't want to step out into their next level and their next territory because they don't know what it's going to be. And this is the thing I tell people. We have the ability to speak those things that are not as though they were. We have the ability to shine light on darkness. How do we do that? From a very spiritual perspective, when the earth was formed, it was darkness. There was nothing there. Guess what God did? Sun, moon, stars. He began to speak. My question to you is, what light are you speaking over your future? What I did when I opened my salon, I said, my salon, and I don't even know, God gave me this. I started to proclaim, I started to affirm, I started to declare that my salon will be the #1 natural hair salon in Arizona. I don't know where that came from, y'all. The boldness, the confidence, the even thought to say it. But what I did is I began to speak light into my future. And so many of you may not have the wherewithal to begin to like project into the future in a sense where you're beginning to speak life over your future. What you're doing is you may be meditating on how negative it's going to be. Like, I could have very well been like, now I ain't gonna tell you, I'm not gonna act like I was not scared. Hear me when I say this. I'm moving from my apartment, my 1 bedroom and a den, to a storefront. I'm paying rent. I gotta sign a lease. I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. But I signed a 1-year lease because I was scared, right? I was like, I ain't signing 5 or 10 years. Like, I don't even know how this gonna happen or how this gonna work out. So I signed a 1-year lease, but it was still an act of faith. And so my question is, are you speaking life over your next level, life into or are you allowing the negative things that could possibly happen that may never even happen to paralyze you to stay in this crawl space?
It's good.
I need some traffic after that. Let's drive love.
I like what you said about other people seeing it, because like my son, he's 3 now. Him crawling at this point, at one point in time, it was cute. It was freedom for him. At this point, it's like, bro, you look silly. Because I know what you're capable of.
Come on.
Like, you should be walking. You can run. You can jump. You can climb stuff. What you crawling for? And I think, again, this goes back to knowing who you are, the environment you're in. There will be people around you that will be able to speak into you in a way that says, like, yo, why are you still here? Like, it's time for you to level up. And we need that. We need people that know us enough to say, listen, that you can stop crawling, you can walk now. And like, sometimes we need even the nudge or the push, and God uses the other people to bring us along when we want to stay stagnant. Like God had to send Moses to get the people. You know what I mean? Like, we need somebody that's going to help bring us out of the spaces where it's like, yo, you're in this box and you don't have to be. You know what I mean? Again, this goes back. Who are the people that are waiting for you to bring all that is within you needs to come out so that you can serve them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're waiting on you. Ooh, waiting on you. They waiting on you to wake up.
Come on, yo.
They waiting on you to get a revelation of who you are, because they need your light to shine. They need you to encourage them, to inspire them so they can go do what they need to do. Like, y'all understand, it's so much bigger than us. It's so much bigger than how many clients we got, how much money we making. Like, your life has purpose. It has value, and it literally is meant to, like, come on now. We are walking epistles read of men. Like, people are reading your life. They reading if you're insecure. They're reading if you're making moves. They're reading if you're walking by faith.
True.
And some of y'all right now need to just say, you know what? You know what it is that you need to do, and you're going to get the courage and the boldness to begin to walk into this next level. And I don't care if I fall. Now, let me just bring this up. For those of you who have children, how much time did it take from the time that your child took their first step to the point where they stopped falling and they started to have a stride about themselves? You're going to fall, and it's okay. Embrace falling. Falling is not failure. Falling is learning.
Absolutely.
Falling is, I got a story to tell.
Absolutely.
Listen, this is me falling. I opened my salon. I'm gonna tell y'all a falling story. I opened my salon. I had it for 13 years. The first 3 years, y'all, I didn't have any stylists, and I had 3 empty chairs. Now, I could have been looking at like, man, somebody is looking at me and they're just like, yo, she ain't even, why she got all these extra chairs and ain't nobody even in it? Like, I could allow that negative self-talk and chatter to make me just close the salon down and just say, hey, this ain't gonna work. It's a story, and I realized I didn't understand leadership. So when you fall, take it as, you know what, I'm learning something and I'm growing and I have something I can share with somebody. It's not failure. Failure is when you give up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me know if y'all still hear and see me.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You good? Okay, it started loading for a second. I was like, no, not again.
Yeah,
Please,
no.
Jesus. Please don't let this thing cut out.
The devil is a lie.
But yeah, like I think you gotta be willing to fail. Like I always say, like the road to success is called failure. Like you'll never get there. Like imagine a kid that is scared to fall and just never walks.
Come on.
It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like you gotta try. You gotta try. You gotta be willing to fall. You gotta be willing to bump your head. You gotta be willing to scrape your knees, the whole nine. That's part of the process. And there's no judgment. But right, there's no judgment in any of that because it's part of the process.
Come on now. And the only people that are judging you are the people that are unwilling to go far they daggone self. Now let me
come on, y'all.
Now,
come on.
The reason why most people don't go to the next is because we are so concerned about somebody else seeing us fall. Now I'm gonna tell y'all in a real life scenario. Y'all ever trip and then as soon as you get up, you start looking around to see who saw you fall? Because it ain't so much like, dang, did you get hurt or not? But it's like, dang, did somebody see me? And so many of us on our road to success, our road to becoming the best stylist that we need to be, the best salon owner that we need to be, we are afraid to make moves because we don't want it to look like failure. We don't want to look like, but remember, the only people for the most part that are going to judge you are the people that ain't doing nothing for their daggone selves.
And they're not a part of your tribe. That's the thing. They're not a part of your tribe. You don't even want them there. Like, why would you? If you just gonna judge me when I fail, like, why are you here? I don't need none of that energy. I don't need none of that energy.
Listen, and Josh, you know, it almost is like the prototype of two different people. The people that see that you can walk, see that you can soar and run, and then the people that are just like, they probably still rolling around and they ain't even start crawling yet, and they looking at you and laughing at you. Like, come on, we got to start like weighing out, like, why do we value other people's opinions, especially for the ones who ain't doing nothing?
Come on. Yo, why do we value other people's opinion? That's a great, write that question down and answer it, right? Like, why do I care so much? Why do I care so much? It like live for an audience of one.
Yeah, so we got to go to the next letter, y'all. So
let's do
you got to get an authentic assignment. Thank you for asking me that question, y'all. And y'all feel free to ask questions. I don't see any questions in the questions box, and it's all love because we just gonna flow regardless. So revelation, find out who you are. Get confident in who you are. Remove the distractions. Remove the chatter. Get the right people around you. Find out what your authentic assignment is. The second R, the third letter is get ready. Get prepared. Get ready. What do I mean by that? There's so many stylists that are just like amazing at what they do, but they're not reinvesting into themselves. They're not getting ready for the next level. They're not, I mean, like, you got to get ready.
Come on, yo.
Like success happens when opportunity meets what? Preparation.
Come on, yo.
Are you preparing for your next level? My preparation was using that voicemail to say, we not here right now. when there was no we. I'm speaking
Yep.
those things that are not. I'm starting to speak life into my future. What are you preparing for right now? Or are you just preparing for it to continue to be as it always has been? If you could keep, let me say this. If you keep living today like yesterday, your tomorrow will forever be the same.
Mm.
It'll forever be the same. So what are you preparing for?
It's good.
What are you preparing for? So right now, y'all, for those of you who have maybe watched some of my lives, I'm preparing to be a speaker, right? I don't know what or how that's gonna look like, but guess what? I'm affirming myself, I'm declaring it, and I'm also preparing myself by speaking to y'all.
Yep. And you're investing in yourself because you've joined masterminds that are focused solely on speaking, right? Like something as simple as financially investing in yourself. I can't tell you how many people I've met, and it's like, I want to do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, word up, bro. Go drop the grand and go take the class. Or I can't do that. What you mean? You know what I mean? I get you got to get your money right, but it's like you're not even planning to spend the money. And it's just like you're not serious about this. You know what I mean? Because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you're called to in your assignment, which means that there's nothing to prepare for. There's nothing even to prepare for because you don't even believe in you. And if you don't believe in you, then it's like you end up just sitting still forever. Right? I know I had one of my mentees. I had to have one of those come to Jesus conversations. I'm like, look, fam, you're how old? 26. Word up. You're gonna be doing the same thing that you're doing now, working at the grocery store, doing whatever. No knock on people that work in grocery stores, but I'm like, you're 26, you work in a grocery store in the meat department. You're gonna be doing the same thing when you're 40. No, I'm not, man. No, I'm not. Well, how you know that? I'm like, because you're not doing anything today to help move you to the next level, and it's been like that the last 6 months. Like, you're not preparing for anything. You know what I mean? And it's honestly, it's heartbreaking to watch people who I care more about your success than you do. I see your potential and you don't see it. And so this all comes full circle, right? The revelation, the assignment, the getting prepared, like all of this fits together in a nice little package because of the fact that you can't prepare for something that you don't even know exists.
That's a whole word. So Josh, you mentioned investing into yourself in the form of financially investing into yourself, which works in tandem with mentally investing into yourself. In order for you to start making different moves, it means that you need to get a different motivation. How do you get different motivation? I always talk about when you get information, look, your life can't change until you start moving different. You won't move different until you get a different type of motivation, a different level of information. You got to start reading. You got to start going to conferences. You got to start investing in courses. You got to start getting some coaching, people who have been somewhere that you have never been. The reason why you are where you are today is because you are in the same circle of information. You got to be open up to new information. So when you get new information, it helps you to get in. Come on, ladies. Now let's get information. You get into a new position because this information has put you in a whole nother place. Like, you thinking different. I remember when I read Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. Because the understanding, your mind can never take you a place. Your feet can never take you a place your mind has never been.
That's right.
How does your mind get to a new place unless you get new information? So many stylists are existing off the same information, and they wonder why they're not moving to a new station.
Come on, yo.
How can you move if you're not pouring in?
Facts.
You got to pour in. So you get information to get information to change your situation.
Write it down. Write it down.
Listen, this is what I live by.
That's good.
If you don't have a mentor, you better go find somebody on YouTube that you can literally hear from that can pour into your spirit, pour into your mind to help you see things differently. The only thing that's keeping you from the next level is how you see things. It's a perspective. People always talk about, I just need like 10 more clients. The fact of the matter is you get 10 more clients when your mind changes. You don't need a miracle and you don't need no money. You need a mind shift.
Come on, yo. Come on, yo. That's real.
This is why when people come to me with money issues, I don't want to give them money. I want to give them a book.
Facts.
Come on now, go. Let me send you a Dave Ramsey video.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
Because
and we in the internet age. There's no excuses. Like, you can't tell. Like, I don't know. Like, listen, I was at a conference. Dude said, what's the most expensive thing you'll ever pay for?
mm-hmm.
People were like, taxes. He was like, that's second on the list. And people going around. He said the most important, the biggest expense you'll ever have is your ignorance.
Ooh.
He was like, to not know is expensive. He was just like, let me give you an example. If you make $100,000 a year, and I say, do you know how to make $1 million? And you say no, the reality is it's costing you $900,000 to not know how to make $1 million. That your ignorance is costly. And that's why I'm like, the people who don't invest in themselves are always the ones behind the 8 ball. They're always the ones who are stagnant, because in the reality is they don't invest in themselves because they don't believe in themselves, right? When you learn to invest in yourself, it changes the game, because you can't unlearn what you learn. You can't unsee what you see, and it changes the whole trajectory of how you live your life when you have the right information.
Come on now. And you just tackled on something else that I talk about is belief system. Belief system directly correlates to how you behave. And how you behave determines who you become. We're talking about becoming. We're talking about evolution. We're talking about manifesting ourselves to the fullest extent. So when we leave this earth, we've left our mark, and everything that was inside of us was poured out, and not from a perspective of like you poured out fully. I was talking about this, like, y'all ever had these Aunt Jemima pancakes, the complete version, and all you had to do was add water and stir? Okay. Are you adding water to your complete mix? Are you stirring it up? Are you becoming the full serve of yourself, and you trying to pour out some powder? Like, come on now, you already have it, but now you got to add some water to that, and you need to pour out. And so we got to get to a place where we start to change our belief system about ourselves, because we can go no further than how we believe about ourselves.
That's facts.
What do you believe about yourself? This goes back to Revelation, but what do you believe about yourself? Many of us have this negative self-talk. Oh, that could never happen. I remember when I did my first my life. What did I see for the next 5 years? It's about 10 years ago. And I did a vision board, but then I also did a 5-year plan. And in this 5-year plan, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I start putting stuff on there that was scary. Like, I'm going to go and teach in Paris. Now, I'm saying this. I'm not even teaching. I ain't got no students. I ain't got no school, but I'm just like talking crazy, but it was in my spirit. And because it was in my spirit, I had the boldness to at least put it out there. I didn't tell a lot of people because I thought they might laugh, right? But what do you believe about yourself? Even if you don't completely believe it, what are you willing to even start to rehearse over your life so you could start to believe it? Many times our belief system about ourselves is so tainted. And it's by design. Hear me when I say this. It's by design, because really and truly, it benefits society when you don't know yourself. And Josh, you could talk about that from the job that you were working. Like, it benefits them when you don't know who you are, so then they can utilize you as human resource to fund their lives.
That's facts. You end up working, spending your whole life building somebody else's dream because you don't understand who you are, right? And it's not to knock people that's working 9 to 5s, but the reality is everybody ain't called to that. Church. You know, and if you're not called to it, then what are we doing? And that was one of the things that made me pull the plug. I was like, I believe in myself. And quick story, I had just invested 50 grand into my first business. I took it out of my 401k. Somebody was like, yo, you can take it out of your 401k. I'm like, yo, by the time I'm 60, I would have made this like 100,000 times over. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I believed in myself, went and invested in myself, and it was just like, dang, like, I can't tell you how much money I'm making for these people. And I'm like, I need to roll the dice on me.
Yeah. Woo.
But I had to learn who I was. I had to look around, and I'm like, you know, someone's coming to these cubicles every day is not the play. It's not the play. I'm bored. I'm not using my creativity. I'm not using my leadership skills. I need to be doing something different. And when I finally realized what I was passionate about, what I was, what made me go, what made me get excited, I was like, yo, I need to go roll the dice on me and like take the risk, right?
Yeah.
To everybody else, it's a risk. To me, it was a calling. It was like this. Y'all look at it as a risk. I know what my potential is. I'm about to go
Right.
walk
I
in
know
it.
what's in me. Come on now.
I know
I got a
what's in me.
revelation.
And guess what? I'm gonna go shot up. I mean, a lot of valleys, ups, downs, the whole nine. But the reality is, when you start understanding who you are and what you're called to, nobody can tell you what you can't do. You know what I mean? And you're not banking on anybody else's perspectives and opinions anymore. You do you, because it's like, yo, I know who I am, and I know what I'm called to. So I'm gonna just go ahead and walk in that. So
yeah, belief, y'all. You got to get the proper belief about yourself, and as you get the proper belief about yourself, you're gonna start behaving real boldly, and that bold behavior is going to bring about certain things that you would have never been able to do as you were walking in lack of confidence and insecurity. And it's not to say that certain things are still going to be there, but it's like God says he has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Fear will be there, but what we do is we hurdle over that fear. For some of y'all are ready to open a salon or open a salon suite or start educating or move to a new city, but the fear is there, and you don't understand that the fear is literally just there to see, like, it's almost like to exercise your muscles of power, the power that you have, the love that you have in your spirit for yourself, and just knowing who you are in a sound mind. Like, we got to get to the place where we understand fear will never leave. Like, it's going to be there, but we just say, I can't even focus on that right now. Like, I know where I'm going. And so how do we get to that next place if we allow fear to paralyze us? So our belief system about ourselves has to change. I tell people this. If somebody told me that $1 million was literally like down at the courthouse that a family member had left for me, what would stop me from going to go get that? Like, literally, it's, downtown, 15, 20 minutes. What would stop me? No vehicle would stop me. Guess what? I would start walking. $1 million? Like, all I got to do is what?
Show up.
The only thing that would stop me is what I believe. Do I trust their word?
Yep.
So my question is, do you trust what God said about you? Do you even know what he said about you? Like, come on now, when you really get a revelation and understand that, this is going to shift your whole belief system. And when you shift your belief system, you will start behaving so bold, like, people going to be like, what got into her? What got into him?
Yep.
But I ain't even here to talk about that tonight. We're on R, get ready. So you got to get ready. And as Josh said, as you get ready, you begin to invest in yourself. You start to practice. You start to prepare. Like, whatever that next level is, you're doing those things. I was in nursing school, y'all. I'm in nursing school. I had already changed the law. I changed the law when I was 23 years old in Arizona for stylists to be able to do hair without a license. But because I'm back at my mom's house and my mom don't really see the vision. So she just like, well, you need to go to school. You need to go to nursing school, because she a nurse and she don't see like, oh, my daughter's going to be able to make a living off of this. Like, I end up going down this path that I'm not going to say it wasn't a part of my assignment, because there are parts of our assignment that will, divert, because there's something we need to learn and pick up in that place. But I was doing something that was, to me, out of alignment with the fullness of my future. But what I found myself doing is during breaks at nursing school, I'm looking up equipment. I'm looking up, okay, how much do chairs cost? How much does this cost? Like, I'm putting together what my next level is going to look like. So I'm getting prepared. So that is my readiness. So we got R for revelation. We got A for authentic assignment. We have R for getting ready. How are you preparing right now? And this is the last letter, y'all. E. You must, if you're going to distinguish yourself, you have to execute. And not only execute, you have to execute with excellence. I can't tell you how many stylists I see, and they just halfway. Y'all gonna make me cuss up in here. You gonna halfway do some stuff for laziness, for I don't even know why people half step, half pour out. Like either you want to do this and you really see yourself being great at this and you're going to give it your all, or don't do it at all. Like I can't tell you how many stylists I feel like they show up to work anytime they feel like it. They give their clients half of them. Like they have doing everything. And so I'm like, okay, I see why you ain't blown up yet. I see why you haven't positioned yourself in the market and made certain strides or whatever, because you ain't even all in. You're not executing with excellence.
It's good. That's good.
And so you may have these ideas in your head and you might be talking about what you want to do, but where's the execution?
Where is the execution?
Where's the execution? So I'm going to go back to talking about failure to some extent, because there are so many things that I did, y'all. And even up until now, where I was just falling along the way. I stopped crawling. I step into this new season and I'm just falling here and I'm falling there. But guess what? I'm executing. The execution is just walking it out. The execution is, you know what? I'm in this corporate job right now and I'm doing hair on the side and I've already looked at my numbers and my finances. I think it's time for me to quit this job. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody, but it might be for somebody on here. Or, you know what? I think it's time for me to open my salon. Just execute.
Yeah.
And execute with excellence. Don't be giving people no half-baked, half-prepared anything. Don't nobody want no half-baked cookies.
Come on, yo. Come on.
Don't nobody want no, like, the reason why I believe that people who are part of our tribe connect with Rare Essence, there's something about it that shows that we care. Like, we're not just giving people no halfway executed nothing. Like, nah, I'm going to give you the very thing that I feel that I would want. When I open my salon, I'm thinking about what type of environment, what type of experience do I want to have?
Yeah. It's good.
So I execute with excellence. And so that word right there, y'all go Google excellence. Like, give it your all, y'all. Come on now, give it your all. Like, this is, if you want to become great, if you want to become known, if you want to leave your mark, the people who leave their mark are the ones who, like, they execute with the highest level of excellence.
Yeah. And
they just do.
And I think a big piece of that is, like, serving. Right? Like, don't just halfway do it. Like, you get to serve people and make sure they get the best version of you, your best work, right? And here's the thing. Your best work today, you're going to level up, and your best work today won't be your best work 2 years from now. You'll grow. But right now, I'm going to continue to do the best that I can and put my best foot forward, and I'm not going to just give you 50%. You know what I mean? That's a great way to, like, have your name out here in these streets as somebody that doesn't do good work. You know what I mean? And, like, we all know somebody that is like, man, I would hate to have people talk about me like that. Part of the reason is just like, they probably doing stuff halfway.
Halfway. And so when we're talking about halfway, we're talking about the totality of their experience with you, not just the hairstyle. And so we talked about marketing last week, and we talked about social media and things of that nature. But the best and the biggest form of marketing is word of mouth. And so imagine somebody leaving your salon, their hair is fly, but maybe you didn't leave the best taste in this client's mouth. Like, maybe they didn't have the best experience, and now they encounter people in the street and somebody's like, oh, I like your hair is fly, but they don't have nothing good to say about you. Understand that a hairstyle alone is not going to attract people. What's going to attract people is the overall experience. And if a person is out in the streets and they're your walking billboard, but they don't really have the best, like, you haven't left the best impression on them, guess what? It's like telephone. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to get passed on. And so I think it's vitally important that we understand that when people come into our spaces, they come into our salons, our suites, what have you, even if it's in our homes, like, we serve them with excellence. Because when we do that, they're satisfied with their service. They're satisfied with their hair. Like, you were on point with communication. Your prices didn't go all over the place. You were good with communication, because this is one of the things I find that so many stylists struggle with. Like, when you have that total package, you got somebody just walking out, not just smiling about their hair. They're smiling about, like, I love her. I love this place. That's what you need people to do. So you ain't even really got to be doing no type of paid advertisement. You halfway even got to be on social media if your hairstyle is that fly, and if you know that you giving your all.
That's
right. Josh mentioned this last week about he's now in Houston. He used to live in Phoenix, and how he has probably went through 6 stylists.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yep.
Since he's been there, and your last experience was so different because.
So she just like how she engaged with me while I was getting my hair done. The other people, I'd show up and literally you walk in the door. There's no clear like, hey, here, like, yeah, you my client. You here to meet with me. Like, it's just chaos. You sit in the chair and I'm there for an hour and some change. And literally nobody says a word. Like, you don't talk to me. I'm just sitting there getting my hair done. I get finished. You asking me for payment. I pay. And you like, all right, cool, thank you. And you roll out. The last person engaged with me. We had a good conversation, getting to know each other the whole nine. And it's just the whole experience around what that was just different, you know. But those are one of the things where it's like, I've gone through so many people because I don't go back. It's like the experience wasn't there. And the girl who did my hair, she may not necessarily be the best stylist, but it was the experience. It was the experience that she gave me, right? Like you're not just a dollar amount to me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make this enjoyable for you. And those are some of the intangibles, right? We talk about executing with excellence. It's how do people experience me on my social media? How do people experience when they're in my chair? How do people experience me when they're waiting for me to get them in the chair? All of that stuff goes into the experience. And when we talk about executing with excellence, you got to view it as like holistic, and it's not compartmentalized. You know, it's not like, hey, I can braid hair real dope, but I can treat you like crap. You know what I mean? When you walk in the door, it's just like, nah, man, nobody want to deal with that.
Come on.
You know, but here's the thing: when you execute with excellence, when you raise your prices, people don't go nowhere. Your tribe, they stick around. They say, listen, I'm surprised you just raising them. I've been waiting for you to raise your prices, and so I can let you know I'm still here. You know what I mean?
On.
But those are the type of things where when you execute with excellence, there's things that you can't put a price on. You know, I love thinking about the fact somebody's coming to get their hair done, but you doing their hair and giving them the right experience, you don't know what somebody's leaving and going to deal with. You got people, I came to get my hair done because I'm about to get married. I came to get my hair done. I got a big job interview, and I got a lot on the line and a lot riding for me to get this thing. They got all kinds of things that people go through in their life, and it's not just getting your hair done. You know, there's like the conversation you have with them while they're in the chair may impact them and have them go take the next step. And whatever it is that God's calling them to, you just never know. So executing with excellence is less about you and more about others. You know what I mean? But when you think about like, oh, it's just about what I do in the whole nine, that's actually selfish. And you need to view yourself as being a role player in a much bigger thing that's going on in the world. And so I just, yeah, man, I love this. The acronym is FIRE.
Listen, that was a download from the Most High, because I don't even know where that came from. I remember I was in the salon, I was talking to Adelaide, and I'm like, Adelaide, like, I didn't get this when I opened Rare Essence 14, 15 years ago. Like, this just came about 2 years ago, where God started to give me the acronym for Rare and what it means. But, man, Josh, I literally was about to run around this. Jump on my balcony. You said so. I was like, wait, if you don't say that. But I mean, there's so much to what it means to distinguish yourself. And I want to say this, y'all. The reason why we talk about rare is because at the very beginning of this conversation, we're saying that rare means that it's hard to find. Out of, say there's 1 million stylists, the ones who are operating and executing with excellence and know who they are, why they're here, their assignment, and very confident and secure, the percentage is low. And that's why they're rare. When people interact with you and they find you and they recognize you as rare, they ain't going nowhere. Okay. Thanks. Like that, and that's a real thing. So you have to make yourself valuable. You have to make yourself rare. Like I ain't got, there's nothing else to say about it. Like, Again,
Yeah.
diamonds have the price that they have because you can't find them everywhere. If I
Come
try
on,
to sell
yo.
you a rock from out front of my house right now, you'd be like, girl, you crazy? Like,
Come on, man.
that's
Come on.
how there's a plethora of average stylists out there.
Mm.
They're so easy to come by. Yeah, they do fly at work. Yeah, they might have a crazy Instagram following, but guess what? Their attitudes stink. They late. They eating, and like they have no standard. They have no business about themselves.
Come on,
No
yo.
professionalism.
Come on, yo.
Our culture deserves excellence. But how can we give excellence if we don't even give excellence to ourselves? And so before we even talk about executing with excellence, you then have to ask yourself, what do self-love? Like, what do I require of myself? And so I find so many stylists not even knowing how to use their voice. They don't necessarily, they like, well, clients, when they come late, I don't know how to tell them. And so not everybody struggles with this, but there are some stylists that do. And the fact of the matter is, when you start holding yourself to a standard, they have to meet the standard. If they don't meet the standard, they will leave. And people want to have experiences that are excellent, right?
That's right.
But if you don't have that excellence for yourself, then how will they even like it? I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. I posted this a few months ago, and I was like, the standard that a stylist has for themselves is pretty much the same standard that they're going to have in business. So if a stylist lightweight is kind of trifling, like when it comes to tidiness and cleanliness at home in their personal life, guess what? More than likely, their salon is going to reflect who they are.
Yep.
But when you start loving yourself and you start executing it on a level with your own self and in your own life, it naturally has to transition into how you love your clients, how you serve your clients. So a lot of times we're thinking about how to make more money. The more money comes from when you start to love yourself. You start demanding and requiring and setting standards and policies. Like, this is not self-love. Self-love is not a client coming 30 minutes late and you feeling obligated to still fit them in because you don't want to lose. No, you got a standard. I'm sorry. You are late for your appointment, and this is self-love. And there's a late fee.
It's facts.
But when you don't love yourself, you don't know what you deserve, and you don't know how to use your voice, then you find yourself being disrespected. But it's only because you don't know how to respect yourself.
Come on, yo. Come on, man.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good.
So we're talking about elevating and distinguishing ourselves. Like, we got to get to a place where we start having policies in place, and that we have just the confidence to enforce those policies in love.
Yep.
This is not like, oh, you late. No, my policies are posted. They're on my website. They're in my email communication. And I'm sorry you're late. We can reschedule. And this is like, but when you don't carry yourself as business, people will not treat you as such.
That's right. That's right. People will treat you how you let them treat you.
Clients will play on your insecurities when it comes to your business. So you definitely have to set the tone. Right. In love. Absolutely. In love. And so, I mean, y'all, I could talk all night. There are some questions that I'm going to start taking. Somebody asked, what is the name of the book again? Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. How do you know what you are called? Okay, so I'm going to take this one. With communication, should it be about everything or some topics are off limit? I think that you have to use discernment. I think that you have to know what your own personal boundaries are. And I think that you also have to, have good relationship. We have to go back to this. Keeping clientele and building client loyalty is about relationship, right? So as you grow in relationship with clients, you should know what those boundaries are. I've hired so many stylists that didn't know what boundaries were, and I had to teach them. They would just tell clients all their business, or vice versa, didn't know what type of conversations to have. I can't tell you what type of conversations to have and not have, but you have to have boundaries, and you have to know for yourself, right? So I'm not gonna say, well, don't talk about religion, or don't talk about politics, or don't talk about, like, you set the tone. What do you feel like is crossing the line?
We will say this, though. We will say this. We said this last week. Your clients are not your therapists.
Church.
Like, don't be venting to people in the chair. Like,
nobody want to hear that.
Don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that.
nobody want to hear that.
Go talk to a professional.
They come to be elevated, not
Come on,
dumped
yo.
on, right? So this
That's real.
when you start making your salon like a peaceful environment, and when I say peaceful, that's not to say that you can't be playing music or you can't, because I love music and I'm gonna play it loud. It's not to say, but like one thing that people loved about Rare Essence, it was like, number one, it's not, we ain't gonna have no gossip. If anything, we having an uplifting conversation. We're about like, you know, how are you doing? You drinking your water? You know what I mean? Like, we're building our community. And most people, y'all don't know this, they're not having those conversations in everyday life. You might be the first person that cared about them for the day, or, you know, that really are kind of involved with them. So I think that you have to understand that you have to create this environment to where when they come, it's just like, they can just relax, man. Like, they feel comfortable. They feel free. Again, we talked about stylists being behind their dome and being at the very core of who they are. Like, listen, so that position is so trusted. And so when you do that, you're behind them and they feel comfortable and they trust you and they can just like relax. Like, this might be the only 2 or 3 hours that they have where they can chill. But then you got too much going on. Like, man, when you make your salon like that, I'm telling you, people gonna fall in love, because what happens is we have so many styles that are broken, that are unaware of their brokenness, and then they wonder why clients keep leaving them, or, you know, like they're not getting the respect because you're broken, you don't have boundaries, and you don't know how to communicate, and therefore it shows in your business.
It's good. It's good.
I love y'all. Listen, first of all, I just want to express the love that I have for y'all who are on right now. Josh and I just want to express this gratitude. Seriously. I love the comments. Yeah. Yep, y'all right. You be feeling like you need to add a fee for being a therapist. Well, listen, if you know you're that now, you can raise your prices. As long as there's no religion or political gender equality.
But that go to experience, right? Like, listen, if you feel like you got to play the role of a therapist, sometimes, listen, I'm going to just roll all this in to my price point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
When you come to me, guess what? You get a stylist and you get a therapist. Like, holla at me. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna speak to this because somebody said no religious or politics. Listen, I'm playing sermons. I'm playing worship. I'm playing whatever because it's who I am. So that kind of goes back to getting a revelation of who you are and being confident in who you are. Because some people appreciate that. Like, I'm not, you know, over here just trying to make y'all like convert if you ain't on what I'm on. But listen, if this is what I feel like listening to today, you gonna get this word. You're gonna get this word. But you have to know yourself and you have to know what your boundaries are. Right? And people came to my salon because they connected with who I was. And when you see, this goes back to distinguishing yourself. If you are so concerned about how people are going to receive you or reject you, you're hiding parts of yourself, nobody's going to attract to you, not the right people. I'm trying to tell you, there will be people that will come to my salon and for whatever reason, they just wouldn't come back and I would be fine with it. And I knew it had nothing to do with the hair. It's just like the environment, the energy just didn't match. Right? But Elisa's on here right now, I think. And Elisa recently moved from, she commutes. I say that. She commutes from LA to work in the salon here in Phoenix. And
she's on right
that's
now?
a whole other story. We got to bring her on. So I just want to tell her thank you for,
what's her name? Elisa?
Elisa, yeah.
Elisa, shout out to Elisa. I hear you the GOAT. Like, that's like major moves. You know what I mean? Like that story. Yeah. Anyway,
that's executing. Okay, it's like, you know what? The vibe. Come on now, best braids. The vibe. And so I say that to say that I don't know if it was Alyssa that told me, or if it was Adelaide that told me, but I think she was saying like the type of clients that come into the salon, like she never. I don't know. I'm not gonna say she never experienced it, but she was just really speaking to the type of clients. The type of clients is because of who we are. We're attracting who we are, right? So.
Yo,
y'all can have y'all night talking.
Listen.
Listen. If y'all got questions, we gonna stay on for a little bit longer. But yes, the vibe. What is your vibe? Yep. And you know, going back to this brokenness, lack of confidence, childhood trauma. You know, all of these things really play into how we show up. Your business can only grow to the extent that you do as a person.
Come on, y'all.
Your business can only grow to the extent that you do as a person. That's mentally, That's what
Write
you
it
put in
down.
your mind. That's spiritually. That's what's going on in your spirit. That's physically. Like, if you're not really taking care of your body physically, guess what? Your business can't really grow. Like, you drinking water, you working out, are you taking care of your hands? Are you taking? So we have to understand this is holistic for us first. Our business is only going to be as good as we are.
Yeah. Come on, man.
As good as we are. So if there's
Good.
brokenness and you find yourself like being combative, not knowing how to set boundaries, and then you wonder why your business, it's just like, baby girl, you might need to go pray. You might need to go get some therapy. Like, I went to therapy.
Come on, me too.
Like, come on
I
now.
think everybody needs a therapist. Everybody needs a therapist, especially
Best
right
thing I
now.
ever did in my life, y'all. And when you come to a
Thanks.
place of wholeness, the way in which you serve is going to translate and communicate so much better. But I mean, I'm pretty much like, I'm gonna drop the mic on that one. Like,
Yo.
If y'all got more questions, we talked about how to distinguish yourself and make yourself distinct in the marketplace. And it comes from your uniqueness. It comes from your creativity. Let me go here. You may have a business idea for whatever it is, advertisement, whatever, and there's something in you that's second guessing it and it's making you not do it because why? You haven't seen somebody else almost do it. Like, it's almost so off the beaten path that you're just like, I don't know, that might, you're second guessing your own creativity. If you understand that it's your creativity that separates you, it's your creativity that's going to put you above the rest because it's different, right? But when you question your creativity and you hold back from that, you're literally like blocking your next level and blocking your blessing. Because when I look at people who have excelled in any industry, I see their rareness, I see their uniqueness, I see their difference, and I'm like, hey, they took a real bet on themselves, because people could look at that and like, oh, you different. Listen, you need to be different.
Facts.
The reason why you all can probably sit up here and listen to me talk for like, listen, I'm being myself. Yeah. I'm literally like, I'm not holding back. I'm being myself. And when you get freed up to be your complete self, you're not questioning your creativity and holding back. Like, this is when you step into greatness.
Yep. That's good. Yo, listen, you dropping dimes. You dropping dimes tonight. That's so good. So Revelation, I'm gonna just recap. Revelation, your authentic assignment, be ready, and then execute with excellence. Say it all together. You got say it like it's like a tagline, slogan. I don't know what you want to call it.
You have a revelation of your authentic assignment with readiness to execute with excellence.
There we go. Boom.
I only want to be around people who understand that they're rare. And if they don't understand they're rare, they're in a place where they're willing to understand that they're rare. And until you get to that place, there's going to be so much that is going to be withheld from you. Because again, when you come into this earth, there are things that literally belong to you. And I'm not necessarily talking about physical things. I'm talking about like experiences. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about like you have an inheritance. But you can't access your inheritance if you are unaware, if you don't even know what's yours. Like, inherently, there are things that are yours. Your salon is yours. Your clients are not yours in the sense that you own them, but you know what I mean? It's a part of your experience. But if you are unaware of that, how will you ever step into it, right? Yep. So you got to get a revelation. And a lot of what you see about people who have stepped into greatness, like they'd be like, oh snap, I know who I am. Like, pray for revelation about who you are. Ask God to show you who you are so you can change the belief system about yourself. And as you change your belief system, you will naturally become all that you were created to be.
There you go.
I mean,
excellent.
I can only speak about that. And so I want to work with people, you know what I mean? Whether they come through my courses, whether they are in the Rare Society, stand up, if y'all in here.
Hey.
That really want to start on this journey to becoming. Like, I teach here, I've done here for years. I haven't done here in like 3 years now, but my heart and my heart's desire is really to help people become.
It's good.
Like, I have done you no service if I teach you how to do a hairstyle, but you're broken.
Dang, that's deep.
I've done you nothing.
Wow. Dang.
There was somebody that asked something. I love y'all. I'm just gonna say I love y'all. But
We
yeah,
get a lot of
y'all
love in there.
get free. Come on now, get free.
Let me get these questions.
Combing through hair for an hour, I would just charge for it. I would really set a service. Somebody said, how do you feel about people who spend an hour plus combing their hair? Is this normal? My biggest issue is people not taking care of themselves. I don't know if I understand that question. But if it's something that you find yourself doing extra work, then you have to
Charge
let your
for it.
clients know. And you know, your time is valuable.
Yep. And yeah, you gotta charge. You gotta know what you're worth, what your
What's up,
value
Reese?
is, and what you're gonna charge people. So I'd say add that in as a service offering. That's all.
Yeah, it's so hard to say goodbye. Like everything is a song to me, y'all. Like every time I hear something, like I say something, I just want to sing a song that goes along with it. But I love y'all. What's up, Angela? What's up, Sister Sashi? We're gonna be back next week.
Part 3.
Week
So
3.
I'm gonna just plug. I'm gonna plug because we get the question about mentorship. People want Essence to mentor them all the time. First, I would say, like the courses that are available in the academy have it's like Essence is mentoring you throughout the courses. So if you want help on like learning how to style hair and getting better at it, we have the creative styling course. Click the link in the bio. You can get the creative styling course. We actually are running a free 7-day trial offer on it right now, so you can get it for a whole week, test it out, see if you like it, and then decide to buy it later. And it's $97 a month if you decide to get it later. If you need help on the business side, so some of the stuff we're talking about tonight, marketing, right? The rare acronym and seeing Essence teach through that. That's in our Wealthy Stylist course, and you can get that as well. Click the link in the bio. We got Essence went live for 30 days straight at the beginning of quarantine. We got that training. You can buy that for like $25, I think. At $25,
That's
you get
$25, and that's me
it's like
going 30 days live,
like
talking
40
just
hours.
like this.
It's like
Okay?
40 hours of training. I think we did the math on it. It's like 40 hours of like you doing this.
Yeah.
Like all the videos. You know what I mean? It's like literally 40 hours of Essence doing this for $25. Not gonna find a better price.
Being
So
silly, quoting scriptures, being
yeah,
serious, you know what I'm saying? Doing
you know,
cartwheels, okay? All of y'all gonna get all of it. Doing hairstyles.
yeah. After 1 year, do you lose access to the academy? We have a lifetime price of $997, or you can just pay monthly at $97 a month, and that's just what it is. So you never lose access unless you stop paying though. But if you pay the $997, that's lifetime. That's a one-time fee, and it's yours to keep forever. But yeah, like there's a lot of content available. We might have something coming down the pipeline in 2021 for people that want more proximity and want that more like one-on-one personalized coaching.
Hold
We
on,
working through.
what?
Nah, I said it's gonna be more one-on-one. It's gonna be group. But we working through some things right now, so y'all stay on the lookout for that. If you're not on the mailing list, sign up. Click the link in the bio, right, and you can get on the mailing list, the whole nine, and find out about what we got going on at the academy. But there's a lot available already. So if you're looking for more of what Essence is talking about, more of her, get the courses. There's a lot there. So I just wanted to say that because people want you. Y'all would be amazed at how many requests we get on a weekly basis for people to like get mentorship from Essence one-on-one. Like I don't think she has enough time in a day to mentor all the people who ask. So part of my job is protecting her time.
We're gonna do something though, because I really want to connect, and I love pouring,
Yeah.
I love speaking, I love like seeing people actually take the information and grow and soar. You know, for those of you who follow for some time, you know, I owned my salon for 13 years. I actually had 2 locations, closed one, and then I kept another one, but I knew there was time for me to move into another level. And there was a young lady who had been with me for forever, and I knew it was time for her to step into salon ownership. And so she actually took that step of faith and stepped into this new place of leadership. And I'm so grateful that you know, one, that I had somebody that I could pass the torch to, who I believed in and I could trust with my brand, right? And so I want to be able to help other stylists like step into their next level, like that. You don't even understand how hype that like really makes me. So so we're gonna be back next week with part 3. So we have 4 parts. And then I don't know, I might commit to coming back live more regularly, but I really wanted to kind of just, you know, pour out for this particular time. So we'll see once we get to the fourth one. Oh, and if y'all want to get the text, everything is in our bio. So you can just click in our bio and you can sign up for our on our list, and once you put your number in, you'll get text whenever we go live. Like, we ain't gonna bombard you with a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like, hey, we live right now. You want to get this content, jump on. Yeah, but everything that Josh mentioned, it is in our bio. So y'all have a blessed night.
Absolutely.
See you next week.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Around
this is fun
10-ish.
for us.
I'm gonna be on time next week. Tonight I was a little late because I was trying to like put it together, actually, because I'm hungry and I need a meal. Okay. So yeah, love y'all. Be blessed. Hopefully we'll save this live.
Yo, yes, so, save it. And
yeah, because we've been going a good hour and a half strong. Yeah, y'all. Peace.
Cool. I'll let y'all.
Bye.